Hello and welcome to Men at the Movies, the YouTube channel. My name's Paul McDonald, and joining me today is Dustin Oprea. We did a full podcast talking about the movie Only the Brave, about a band of firefighters back in the early 2010s, I think.
Yep, 2013.
And their story. And we focused on this line that came at the end of the movie, that we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. And so we focused all of our conversation on the podcast about that. So check it out. Links are below. But we did pull out this one clip that we wanted to share because it fit a little bit differently. But we wanted, as I teed up this clip, I want you guys to think about that line about we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. So in this scene, we're going to see Eric Marsh, the superintendent. He's played by Josh Brolin.
I'm Eric Marsh,
and he's interviewing
Superintendent of
Brendan, who's coming in. He's a junkie. He's an addict. He's been kicked out of bars. He got a girl pregnant who's not even his girlfriend anymore. And he's lost. He doesn't know where he's going. He's struggling.
When was the last time you used?
And going back to that idea of we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are.
Think. Just answer the question.
3 months ago.
You ever use needles?
No. Never.
You have your qualifications?
Yeah. Wildland fire science, and just completed my EMT.
You know the difference between Type 2 crew and Type 1 IHC?
Yes, sir. Hotshots are on the front line, and they get to engage the fire directly.
Good. You got a record?
Yeah. Felony larceny.
You ever do any time?
3 days. And I'm on probation right now.
What are you doing here?
I made a lot of mistakes in my life. And I've done a lot of things that I'm ashamed of. And now I'm embarrassed by, honestly. But I just had a daughter. Her name's Michaela, and I just really want to give her what I never had. If you give me a chance, I won't let you down.
Okay. All right. Crew's gonna go on a little hike. Got any running gear?
No.
What size shoe do you wear?
10.
Hand them over.
They're brand new, Sue.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Hand them over. McDonald! Come on. Come on.
They're limited editions.
Okay. There you go.
Thanks, man.
Those limited edition?
Shut up.
A lot of times when we're looking at movies, they're modern day parables of really amazing things that happened in the past. And in the context of this podcast, it's a lot of how we mature in our faith and in our life as men and women, and seeing Brendan, the younger man, speaking to the older man, and Eric, he's looking for something that he does not have. And Eric is bringing strength as a mentor. And we see that really early on in the movie, but he's got stuff in his life that he's dealing with. And I think what draws me into movies, Paul, and we've talked and we've connected on this, is so often you see men and women fighting for something that's bigger than themselves, but in steps some sort of mentor or guide or brother or sister or friend that helps them understand who they really are. And there's a scene in the movie at the end that we have been talking about this whole podcast that really speaks to this moment. And so I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger if you want to go check out the podcast. But yeah. But what I love so much about this conversation is Eric, who's this really burly, strong man of very few words. You almost see him interact with Brendan, the younger man, in a way that you don't see him do with anyone else in the movie. He's very honest. He's asking like direct, very heartfelt questions. And when other people do that to Eric, he doesn't answer. And when he's asking these questions, why are you here? Oh, Eric backs down from those questions. So he sees something in Brendan right there, a strength that Brendan doesn't see. And in this movie, the greater context, is he going to give him a chance to hop on this team to potentially be a hotshot and be a wildfire firefighter? So it's a brilliant scene of a man bringing the strength that he has while he's dealing with some stuff in his own life. Because we can hold both of those. I can hold pain in my life, Paul. You can. And joy. I can hold a part of me that's really strength and feels like I'm like 5 years old in a moment, but there's something ancient in me in another part that I bring a whole lot of strength to. And I think that's a beautiful part about this movie that we've dissected a little bit in the podcast.
Yeah. And the other part is it takes something. Like when Brendan shares, I just had a daughter, the emotion that's on his face is something that especially dads of daughters, have felt, but we know how transformative those events are. And it does take something like that to transform us. And we'll see later in the movie, as we talk about on our podcast, what it takes to change Eric, what it takes for his transformation. And this idea that we don't have to be perfect. I love what you said, Dustin, that we don't have to have it all together to help someone. Because Brendan needed Eric in that spot. No other guy would have taken a chance except for a guy with his history. His pain was able to connect with Brendan's and invite him into that. And he said, if you want it bad enough, right? We're going to go take a hike. Let's go. If you want it bad enough, how bad do you want it? And that's the question we get asked a lot, is how bad do you want it? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be handed to you. It's going to be earned. And we see that, and we see the man that Brendan will become as a result of Eric's intervention. So we talk about this in much greater detail on our podcast. So go check it out at Men in the Movies. We're even on Amazon Podcasts, just got uploaded there. So wherever you get your podcast, check us out. And I hope you join us next time here on Men at the Movies, the YouTube channel.